Welcome to the Tuesday night Principal Chiro broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting call. And tonight I'm joined by
Mama.
Emma. And Emma, what would you like to say to everybody out there?
I love DE so much.
All right. I love DE so much too, Emma. So thanks so much for being on a call tonight with me. You going to help me introduce Howie in a little bit?
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, Tuesday night Principal Chiro broadcast brought to you by DE and Band of Brothers. And we got an exciting call coming for you in just a little bit. But let's talk about DE and Sarasota coming up. Let's get that overlay up there, Kat. We've got DE coming up here in just a little bit. April 13th through the 16th in Sarasota. Then we're back to Atlanta for July 27th to the 30th, which is summertime. They moved it back a little bit, which is great. Everybody will be on summer break, so that'll be a big kids one. Then we got October 19th to the 22nd, also in Atlanta. And then we're back in Clearwater, January 18th to the 21st. Register at lifede.com. The room block is open. Get your flights. I know our speaker already has his flight, so that's awesome. Also, tomorrow is the last day for the Super Saver. There it is, scrolling across. So regular price, $450. If you book tonight or by tomorrow, there is $105 off the regular price. That drops it down to $345. So if you're going and you're not on membership, now is the time to buy. $345 gets you the conference in Sarasota. This will be the last one in Sarasota. I don't know if you guys know this, but they're tearing the hotel down. The hotel was bought and it's being demolished and rebuilt into something else. But this is the last one in Sarasota. So this is going to be a very special one. We're going to probably look back on a lot of memories like we did when we left the Embassy Suite. So you won't want to miss this one. Last one in Sarasota for a while. Our hotel is being demolished. But yeah, $345 gets you registered, or you can obviously do the membership, $109 per month, best deal going, even better than that deal. If you go to all the DEs and you get all the recordings, you get everything. I'm a member. Most people are members. I think that's the easiest way to go. It spaces it out. You get that little $109 charge every month, and then you get to go to all the DEs, get all the recordings. It's definitely the way to go. So membership or the Super Saver. Definitely got on board, guys. We'd love to have you. What are you doing over there? You're eating raspberries?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Very healthy. So anyway, very exciting. So DE's upon us. Let's get this locked down here, guys. Go to lifede.com and register for Sarasota. But our speaker for tonight, this guy, man, he's definitely been coming to DE for a long time. He was telling me over a decade he's been coming to DE. And he's one of those guys that just keeps showing up. And we talked about that a lot at DE, how just keep showing up. And that's what this guy keeps doing. He keeps showing up. And, it's helped his practice immensely. Great guy. He's got a YouTube videos he's always putting out. And I tell you, I've watched them, and super principled guy from Tupelo, Mississippi. A 2002 graduate of Palmer. Give it up for Chiropractor Howie. Emma, say, take it away.
Take it away.
Howie, love and appreciate you, brother.
Hey there. How y'all doing? I'm guessing you can hear me. I don't know. So anyways, first off, I just want to thank you for letting me share tonight. And it is an honor for sure. It always is. It's kind of a special time because tomorrow actually celebrates my 15th year anniversary of my practice on my own practice. And, my practice is always focused on trying to get people to understand that chiropractic is meant to be done on a weekly, regular basis. If you're watching my practice today, you'd be like, wow, look at this, man. This guy's got it made. People walking in, they're just in and out, usually less than 5 minutes, and they paying for this. I'm like, wow, he's got it made. He makes it look so easy. Well, it did take 20 years of practice and people experience to get to that point. So what I wanted to do tonight is I just wanted to kind of share a little bit of things of what I feel has gotten me to make it look this easy. Maybe I can make it a little easier for y'all as well. All right. First off, I think the most important thing is obviously you've got to master the basics. Always got to get back to the basics, as Sid referred to that a lot. And some of the basics I believe is like owning the philosophy of chiropractic. You need to craft your communication skills to the point to where you're a master communicator. You need to obviously hone the chiropractic adjustment, be a master at that. And you need to create a bulletproof education system. And as far as I'm concerned, the education is the most important thing that we do as chiropractors. I mean, it's even more important than the chiropractic adjustment. I mean, before chiropractic school, I'm guessing most of us weren't getting our spines checked on a weekly basis and checking our family on a weekly basis. But after being educated on the importance and the value of chiropractic, we all do it because it just makes sense. Well, what I found is if you educate people on that at that level, guess what? They're going to do the same thing because it just makes sense, right? So you just got to make it affordable, logical, and convenient, and then people are able to do this. And the two factors that I really focus on when it comes to education is that chiropractic is about function. Everything always comes back to function. Doesn't matter what anyone says, a complaint or whatever they say, it always goes back to function. I always remind, doesn't matter if it's a new person or an established person, it always comes back to function. And then the second part is just getting them to understand that this is something that needs to be done at least once a week for life. That's just the way it is, because that's where you get the real benefit. And I feel that another thing that has got me to where I am, last DE, we talked a little bit about this, but one of my friends, Tom Graham, used to go on and on about his top 2 core values. And at the time, I really didn't even think much about it. I was like, well, I didn't put a lot of thought into it, but I knew that truth was definitely my top core value for sure. Without the truth, that we don't really have anything else. So I knew that was my first one. I never really put a lot of thought into what my second core value was until a lot of this nonsense started happening over the last few years. And then I realized it was freedom. Freedom is definitely my second core value. And I believe that when you understand these, you become your authentic self. I think it's about the only way you can become your authentic self is to be able to do this on a regular basis. Just like go into DE. They talked this last DE, that was a lot of the focus was becoming your authentic self. And I think when you do that, when you understand your top core values, I think it makes you stronger. It makes you more authentic. Well, obviously authentic, but it gives you more confidence in what it is that you do. I think if you lose your core values or you violate those core values, it sends you down a downward spiral. I know I've been in downward spirals in my life, and I believe it's because I broke my core values. And so I'm so thankful for DE, because DE is definitely one of the things that have got me into becoming my authentic self, because it's helped me get rid of a lot of the helped me peel the layers back. Also helped me get rid of some of the boulders that I've been carrying around all my life. So I'm really thankful for my DE family. And I like Brian said, I've been coming for at least 10 years, over 10 years now. And I would encourage the listeners to definitely attend DE. It's definitely a good experience. And much like the chiropractic adjustment, it's something that needs to be done on a regular basis. There's a reason that Dr. Sid did it 4 times a year. This thing called chiropractic, it's not easy. You always have to keep replenishing yourself. And that's why I go to DE, is to be around the other principal chiropractors, to where it beats you up. One of my buddies, he said, we're like firefighters. No matter what, you're going to suck up smoke. What we deal with as chiropractors is energy. Of course, you're going to suck up their energy. And I feel it's also important to be a clear vessel when you are giving the adjustment. That way, you're not giving them your garbage as well. So anyways, that was just some things I wanted to touch on. One of my mentors, Joe Donofrio Sr., he was actually at the second DE. His uncle paid for him to come. He went for several years until there was a division that happened. And, you know, I don't understand some of the division that's in the profession. And, you know, honestly, I was part of that camp as well. I was part of those chiropractors in that group that was all about, you know, trying to be the purist and whatever else, and everyone else wasn't. And, you know, that's just the wrong way of approaching it. I think that we should, you know, focus on the groups that are like-minded. I know at the last DE, I talked to some of the big wigs at DE, and we talked about you know, joining groups of other chiropractors that think like us do. You know, at least be focused on the one thing that we all should be getting our spines checked at least once a week. I mean, why can't we all be on the same page as that? And if there's other groups that are doing that, then that's what I think we should do, because we're stronger together than we are separate and divided. So that's just another thing I just kind of wanted to talk about, just so that way we could just be stronger as a profession, because, you know, the profession is, it's like I said, it's not easy. It's a very misunderstood profession. I have my feelings about why that is, but we won't get into that today. And but one of the things why I brought up Joe D is because Joe told me a long time ago that it takes about 5 to 7 years to build a sustainable practice. So I reasoned out, hey, you know, it takes about probably 5 to 7 years to build any sustainable business. So you know what? I went to the work and I started making that happen. Well, at the time when I first graduated, the only way you could really practice the model that I currently practice in was with a box in the wall fee system. Now, I did that for a couple years, and I'll tell you, it didn't work for me. So I had to develop another system, another fee system that was fair to me and the people that come in my practice. And that's when, you know, me and a group of other people kind of started working with the membership practice. So I was kind of one of the pioneers in getting the membership practice started. And one thing Joe says is, you know, he said that it takes 15 years to be the envy of the rest of the profession. Well, like I said, tomorrow is my 15-year anniversary. I don't know if I'm the envy of the profession, but I can tell you, I'm really proud of what I've done. And, you know, it hasn't always been easy, but, you know, changing the world isn't supposed to be easy. You know, it's supposed to be a challenge. If it was easy, then guess what? We'd all be doing this. But obviously it's not, because not everyone's doing this. Hell, you know, most of us didn't understand that we all need to be getting our spines checked at least once a week before going to chiropractic school. So that to me is another problem in the profession, is the inconsistency of how we take care of ourselves and our families compared to everyone else. But anyways, that's beside the point. So now, seeing as I am going into my 15-year anniversary, I plan on having a big get together next month, or actually in March, because the weather will be a little bit better then and people will show up. So anyways, you know, I may not have hit the 500 people a week, as, you know, Dr. Sid talks about hitting 500 and turning the crank. Well, I will say that I have hit the 300 a week mark. And I would say, you know, it's sufficient now for me to be able to start turning that crank, because, you know, most of the people coming in my practice been seeing me, you know, at least once a week for 5 to 10 years. I mean, that's the majority of the practice. So I haven't raised my fees in like 10 years. So I figure it's about time. So like I said, I plan on increasing my fees and having a celebration. And at that celebration, if anyone signs up, they get to keep the, you know, grandfather them into the old fees. I still have people that are still on a box on the wall kind of fee structure. But yeah, so that's what I really been trying to focus on and working on is what to do with this at this 15-year anniversary. I think it's gonna be a good celebration. You know, I would invite you all to be able to show up as well. Now, as Brian mentioned, I also do a not really a podcast, but it's videos that are on YouTube called Freedom Chiropractic. You'll see this flag, or excuse me, this flag. It's backwards, but anyways, you'll see that flag in the videos. And basically what I do in those videos is I want to share, you know, what it is that I've gotten and how to make a practice sustainable. Because over the whole nonsense that happened over the last few years, I got myself a very strong practice. I didn't realize how strong it was until then. And I was like, wow, I have a butt kicking office, and I wanted to share what I've done so other people can have a butt kicking office as well. Because ultimately, isn't that the goal? Is to change lives. That's what I feel that as chiropractors, that's what we're charged to do, is change the paradigm of thinking of people and ultimately changing their lives as well. All right. I don't know. I guess that's pretty much all I had to share. I appreciate the time that I have on here. That went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. Apparently, I should have prepared some more. But yeah, like I said, this is pretty much it. I make it chiropractic available and affordable and logical, so people do understand what it is that we do as chiropractors, so everyone can receive the benefits of chiropractic care. Because that's where it's really at. All right. I guess I'm done, Kat. I don't know. Happy to answer any questions.
There he is. Howie, great job, my man.
What's that?
I said, great job. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. You just broke up a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, you did a great job. It doesn't matter how long you go. Sometimes short and sweet and to the point is more effective than long and dribbling. So great job. Congrats on 15 years serving your people, man. That is an awesome accomplishment. And I love what you're saying about your practice. It sounds like a place of love where you're serving people, you're making it affordable, and it's not surprising that you've grown to over 300 a week. And that is a kick-ass practice, man. That's incredible what you've done. And congratulations, man. I didn't know that whole history about you, and great to hear a lot about you. So
it's been a journey. Yeah. I had a buddy, Josh Howell, I was talking or texting him.
Yeah.
I said something on my 50th anniversary, and he's all like, man, you just went quick. I'm like, I don't know if I would say it went quick. Those first, 5 to 7 years did not go very quick.
Yeah.
They definitely were a challenge, but
Yep. Well, that's where you're sharpening it. Yep. Sharpen the skills, sharpen the stones, and you grow, and now you're in a great spot. So congrats, man.
Honestly, I think DE is one of the things that's really helped me a lot in the practice and things like that, because let's be honest, most of us, we're the problem. We're the problem in our practice. Nothing else. It's us. And that's the biggest lesson that you learn from DE. Sometimes it's a smack in the face, but truth is truth sometimes, right?
Right.
So
what is that? Love is a right hook sometimes, or a left hook?
Left hook. I think that's what.
Left hook. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Judson says a lot. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So anyway, great job tonight, my man. Excited you booked your flights for DE. Can't wait to see you there in person at Sarasota, and hopefully everybody watching will be there as well. But great job tonight. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, on the DE Band of Brothers Principled Chiro broadcast.
Thanks again, John.